Hello and welcome to Thermaprint Online. I'm Mel Mybers, and in this video we are going to create artwork for a graphic that will be heat applied to a t-shirt. The product we are using is called Thermacuts, and Thermacuts are specially formulated ink sheets that are used with a vinyl cutter for cutting out logos, graphics, names, numbers. And the software we're using today is called Inkscape, and it is a vector graphics editor. Vector art is basically line art, and since we are using a cutter, the blade of the cutter needs a path or line to follow. Inkscape is a free graphic art program and is available at www.inkscape.org. That's O-R-G. We're in Inkscape right now, and the rectangle you see on the screen is a document, or referred to as a reference page, that I need to change to the exact size of the Thermacut sheet so we can lay out our graphic for cutting. You can change the size of the document by going to File in your upper toolbar and then select Document Properties. So we'll go to File, Document Properties, and in the Document Property box here there are some things I want to change. Number one, under General, the default units, I want to change that to read in inches. And you can see that the rulers here on the page also changed to inches. Under Orientation here, make sure that Portrait is selected. Under Custom Size here, I'm going to change that also to read in inches. And this is going to represent the actual cuttable area of the Thermacut sheet. So we're going to change that to 8 by 24. And I can close the box here and then select here so we can see the whole page. And again, this is 8 by 24. This represents the cuttable area of the Thermacut sheet. Now we can bring it in our graphics. So we're going to go to File. I'm going to import a JPEG. And select my graphic here and open. And what's going to do is going to open up a box and want me either to embed or link. And there's my graphic. So I'm going to open my graphic here. And this is where it asks me for embed or link. I'm going to select embed, say OK, and what it's going to do is it's going to bring the file in a very large size, and this is the JPEG. Bring it in around 33 inches, almost a 3 feet. So it comes in a very large size, which is an actual plus with this program. Because when you bring in a JPEG at a very large size, especially if you're doing Windows graphics or if you're doing signage, it's great for that. Because if you bring in a JPEG that's small, you try to enlarge it, it usually gets kind of blurry, or what they call pixelated. Okay, there's our graphic that we imported. Again, you can see I'm on the toolbar here once I change this to inches. That did bring it in a very large size. The height on this is 33.644 inches. So we need to change this. And I want to change it proportionally in both directions. In order to do that, you can see the width here and the height. If I lock this and then just change one of the values, I'm going to change the height here to 7 inches. It'll change proportionally in the other direction. It's a little bit off page here, but I'm just going to grab my graphic, bring it onto page. I'll enlarge it slightly. That way I can utilize the whole width of the page here. So there's my graphic. As we see it right now, it is a JPEG. And if you want to check if it is a JPEG or vector art, if you go to View and select Display Mode, go to Outline, you can see there are no outlines to follow, so we're going to have to change this to into vector art. So we're going back to View, Mode, and Normal. And I'll enlarge this page here so we can see it real well. Again, this is JPEG, so we're going to change it to vector art. And so we need to trace it. So we're going to go to Path, Trace Bitmap. And in this box here, There's a lot of different options depending how many colors you have in your design, how different complex it is. I have a very basic 2-color job, so I'm going to use the grays down here and just get a different color gradient grays in there. So I'm going to change it to gray, and on number of scans right now it says 8. I want to change that to a lower number, to only 3. I've only got 2 colors to work on, so I'm going to say update. And what it'll do is give me a preview of the graphic in grayscale. And this is where it actually does the tracing also, but right now it's just doing a preview for me. And this takes a little bit of practice, this page here, because again, every graphic is so different. You'll find out where it works best for you. And there it is, the preview. So I'm going to say OK, because you can see the different contrast in the colors there, my gray and the black there. So it'll give me some nice clean lines to work with. And I can actually go right to the cutter right from this program. I don't have to go back into the software that comes with the cutter itself. Okay, so now we have our vector art on our screen here. We also have our JPEG, which is behind it, so I'm just going to move this slide aside just a little bit here. Click off the design, click on the JPEG, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that and bring this back to page here. So I can see the whole page. I'm going to go up and select it here. Okay, so there's our graphic in grayscale. Now I'm going to have to ungroup this. So I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup. And around this design is a rectangle, which is part of the JPEG. So, and this is a separate vector line right now, and I'm going to delete that. The background here, you can see where the fill is the gray color. And the stroke, what the stroke means is the outline around the design. So this design doesn't have a background to it. I'm going to redraw the background a little bit later, or the sun a little bit later, because if you take a look at it, remember it was tracing it, so it traced around the whole dragon and the kanji and the sun. That's all one piece, but I'm not going to use it that way because I don't want to foreground onto the background and try to place it exact. It'd be really difficult. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. And I can just draw the sun later. The way you do that is go up to your ellipse tool, and I'll just draw that whatever size I need. And we can do that in a moment here. Go back to my pick tool. Okay, now we have a vector art, but I don't have a outline around it. The outline is what the cutter needs to follow. So if you see on stroke here, it says unset. If I just click on that, it'll open up a Docker for me. And the Docker here, all you got to do is click on this first one, and in the lower left hand corner where it says unset, now you can see there's a black line there, and that's what I need for my cut line. Now I'm going to raise this up a little bit here. This is from trial and error. I can tell you that that arrow that you see at the bottom there, if you make that the space between this and the design, it'll give you plenty of room to for your design to for cutting, for the margin there. Now the only other thing I want to do before I go to cutting is I want the dragon to face the other direction. So I'm going to go to and invert this, because that's the direction that I put that the paper is going to cut in the machine. So right now I'm ready to go to cutting. That's going to be in our video number 2. I'm just going to have to go up here and click on the print here and set that up, and I'll do that in the next video. So join me. Thank you. This is Mel Mibers.